And we're live. Welcome to Daily Confidence for Entrepreneurs. My name is Mostafa Hosseini, your host for the show. We are here with yet another interview during the confidence giveaway that is happening this week. Today, we're doing guest expert interviews and sharing stories about business, confidence, pandemic, what's been going on over the past year. So tune in, and that's what's happening. So this week, the confidence giveaway is happening. The theme of our giveaway is to share gifts with entrepreneurs to help them boost their confidence in different areas of business, such as mindset, sales and marketing, business strategy, speaking and visibility, technology, and health and wellness. We got 20 plus gifts from 20 plus amazing entrepreneurs. We got an amazing lineup of entrepreneurs who are giving away gifts, things that are usually sold, exclusive gifts from people like Jackie. And opt in. I'm going to put the link here in the giveaway. In the comments below, and the link is in the descriptions as well. And so get that. Welcome, Jackie.
Hi, Mostafa. I'm so glad to be here. So glad to be
Good.
a part of this.
Good to see you. I'm glad you decided to join us. I'm glad I bugged you forever. And like I started harassing you, say, you gotta join us, you gotta join us. And then you're like, all right, okay. All right, I guess I'll join.
Your charm is just irresistible, my dear.
There's this. I, I I mean, everybody has this resistance about follow-up, but then when things happen, I'm like, I'm glad I actually followed up. Right after a while, when I built that momentum and people start coming in, I'm like, oh, this is good. I should just keep following up with people. Anyway, so how's your day going so far?
It's great. It's
I
great.
hear you got like some amazing weather down there.
Yes, down here in Southern California, it's starting to brighten up. We're getting out from the June gloom.
Absolutely. All right. So, please introduce yourself, your name, your business name, and where you're from.
My name is Jackie Lappin. My business name is Speakertunity, the Speaker and Leader Resource Company, and I'm from Westlake Village, California, which is somewhere between Los Angeles and Santa Barbara.
Very nice. And what is the story behind your business? How did you end up doing what you're doing now?
Well, actually, it starts very early when I was one of the first women sports writers in America. Then went on to have one of the largest sports special events PR agencies in the country. Then decided that I really wanted to concentrate on the people who were making a difference in the world. And I created my radio media tour business, Conscious Media Relations, and we started doing radio tours. And we continue to do those radio tours. And then some of our clients said, well, can you book me for speaking engagements? Can you book me for speaking engagements? And we said, no, we don't want to do that, but we know where they are. So why don't we just tell you where they are? And that's how Speakertunity was born, where we give leaders contacts where they can book themselves. We create directories filled with all kinds of contacts, whether that's radio shows and podcasts and virtual summits and virtual networking and radio and live and virtual speaking opportunities, TEDx's. We cover it all.
Very nice. Love it, love it, love it. So, how has the past year been for you? Where were you last year when the pandemic started? How did you react? Was your confidence affected in any shape or form? And what did you do since?
Well, I think your initial response to something like that is a certain amount of fear. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we were going to be launching one of our products, which is Speakertunity Regional Speaker Lead Directories. And how do you market a directory for speaking engagements when, in fact, the whole world stopped meeting? So we had to rethink, what are we going to do? And of course, we're launching that product now. But at the time, we thought, well, what do we have to do? So we turned around and then really put a lot of emphasis behind our radio podcast tours, because heck, most people were sitting at home listening to radio and podcast tours or podcasts, excuse me. So we realized that our clients had an unbelievable opportunity that they could take advantage of right away. And so we jumped
Mm-hmm.
into that, and that really made that work. And then we spent the rest of that period just building out all of the resources at Speakertunity, including 75 regional speaker directories, a new product that we're going to launch in the next few months, and I'm really excited about, and adding more and more services like doing your speaker one sheets and all these other kinds of things. So we use this. Yes, we took a hit. We felt that fear and said, okay, we can't let this stop us. We need to really move in some direction. And of course, when you start working and succeeding, then your confidence starts to come up. And so, yeah, that really made us feel like we were okay. We're heading in the right direction.
Good. So if people need to book speaking engagements, find different stages to appear on and share their message on with different audiences, then they reach out to you and you can help them.
Right. No, we don't book for them. We only do book the radio podcast tour, but with all the rest of the resources, we'll just give you the information. We'll give you the training tools, and you can do it. Have one of your teammates, a virtual assistant, help you with it. So we're just saving you all the time, but doing all that research and trying to figure out how to do it.
Oh yeah, I mean, the list of all the events that happen is so valuable. And just the amount of time that it takes to go research and find out who has an event. Are they a good match? Are they not a good match? And putting together their one sheet and the rest of it. Like, you guys get them all ready and get them in there.
Yes, absolutely.
Love it. What else? So who do you serve, and then what exactly do you do for them? I know you briefly touched on it, but give us the brief description of who you serve and what you do for them.
So basically, we serve anybody that needs to get in front of an audience to grow a business, and that would be, coaches, personal growth leaders, business leaders, people who teach people how to improve their business, people to improve their health. If you have to reach out to people, get in front of them to attract them into your client base, that's who we serve. It's not one field, it's lots of fields, but it's defined by that.
Very nice. And then what are the different types of stages that are hot and popular these days?
Oh, that's interesting. Well, I would say that women's business meetings are always a big, and people love them if that's your market. If you are looking for people who, entrepreneurial business networking kinds of meetings are great if you're trying to serve that audience. But there's also, if you want to talk to healthcare practitioners and doctors, for example, or real estate people. Those are all really, but you're really looking at meetings that reoccur because they always have stages.
Yeah.
Associations which meet regularly or have quarterly meetings. Those are really, valuable opportunities. There are so many organizations that have gone virtual that now and may never go back to in-person meetings, that you can speak anywhere in the country, not just in one location. So that's the product that we're working on right now. So it's really, the doors are wide open to things that you might not have thought about in the past.
Absolutely.
There's also special interest groups. There's lots of organizations that serve special interest groups, like people who have illnesses or disabilities, or have, they have a particular lifestyle, or, a gender, an age group, like seniors. So, zero in on all of those.
Very nice. I know Tony Robbins hit him. What was the max number of people he had at his events? Do you know? Like, he had hundreds of thousands of people on Zoom that there was no way he could have pulled that off without it.
Well, and I can just tell you that I'm familiar with a wonderful teacher, Suzanne Evans. Suzanne was drawing about 400 people to 500 people in her rooms when she was live. Now, virtually, when she does an event, she draws between 800 and 1,000. So that can show you the potential.
Yeah. I even heard higher numbers than that. I mean, the sky's the limit. Once you're live on Zoom, you could have 10,000 people,
right?
As long as you could do the marketing and do that. And okay, and then so if I'm just getting started with you, how does this work? How do you help people?
You would go to speakertunity.com
Uh-huh.
and look and see if there's a product there or a resource that might be benefit you. And then you can click on it and it'll open a page that explains all the resources. And then you can decide if that's something that you want to enroll in or subscribe to. And here's what's really cool about this: if you put your name at the bottom of the page, we're going to tell you all about the new products that are coming, because we're literally launching a product a month with great activities that are going to really fill in all of the holes for somebody who needs to get on stages. So get your name on that list and we'll keep you apprised of all the really cool stuff that's coming.
Love it, love it. And now, gang, for those of you who are watching or listening, Jackie really knows her stuff when it comes to getting on different stages, and she's got an amazing service that you could sign up for, and they'll introduce you to all sorts of different stages in variety of industries. And once you now, Jackie, before I expand on that, tell us why people should even worry about or focus on speaking.
Oh, that's a very simple
Because
answer.
here's the thing. I was told that I should be on Facebook, right?
Because
And why should I care about speaking?
the simple answer is that when you are either in a room with somebody or addressing them in a closed environment, you have the best possible ability to get them to know, like, and trust you. It is the most, the numbers will show you that when you are connecting with people, it is the fastest and easiest way to get them to be, to want to be in your community, to
Mm-hmm.
want to buy from you, to want to subscribe to whatever you're offering. It is that one-on-one that really makes such a difference. And you know where it's really important is books. Boy, telling when you're launching a book, being in a room with people is significant when it comes to book sales. So, and when I say in a room, it's a virtual room as well as a physical room. So, if you want to move the dial on your business, you need to be on stages. So that's a simple
Absolutely.
answer.
You know what I like about speaking is the fact that it's a leveraged activity. Like you could talk to a room of 10 people or 10,000 people, and your time and your marketing efforts are leveraged, right? I mean, you could convert 20% of the room, regardless of how big the audience is, and instead of talking to people one to one,
Yeah.
right? And that's what I really enjoy about that.
Well, and what here's the nice thing about speaking gigs: the more you do, the more you get, because people see you and they invite you for the next one.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. So tell us about your gift that you're contributing to the confidence giveaway and how it helps business owners boost their confidence.
well, you know, there are lots of areas where people can be confident, but there are other areas where they may not be feeling it all. They really need something more. So, if your mission is to get in front of a business audience, people that either are solopreneurs or transitioning from corporate to solo, or that are in the current corporate environment, or job holders or job seekers, if you want to reach that audience, then there are radio shows, podcasts, and video casts that will enable you to get right up front with them. But hey, maybe you just don't know how to do that. Maybe you just don't know the right things to do and the right things to say to get them to say yes to you, and then how to get that to monetize. And so what I've got is a video training that I've never released before. It's called How to Make Business Podcasts, Videocasts, and Radio your number one source of new business, or new clients, I should say. And so in it, I tell you exactly what those hosts are looking for. I tell you exactly what you have to have ready to present to them, what is going to get them to say yes, how you can actually engage your own team or yourself to actually get that going. And lastly, how to monetize it, how to make sure that when you're on those virtual stages that you can actually make money from them. So
Love it.
I would love to have you come and come and get it. It's I
Love it.
think going to be a really game changer for you.
Beautiful. Um, Jackie, I really appreciate you and thank you for contributing the amazing gifts and playing with us at the giveaway. You're making a massive difference out there. I know speaking and appearing on different stages is a big deal, and people have a lot of fear around it, that they do need a lot of confidence around it. So what you're doing and what you're contributing is making a massive difference out there. Is there anything you'd like to add before we wrap up?
Yes. The one mistake that most people make is that they actually don't book time in their calendar to do their booking. They think, I'll get to it sometime this week. I got a lot of, I'll find time. Well, you never do. There's always other things coming up. So you literally have to go into your calendar and block 3 hours a week, every week, to make that your pitching time, your follow-up time, and get those interviews or speaking engagements, whatever they are. So that is a habit that you develop and that you make the opportunities for you to be in front of people.
Love it. That's a great tip, because it's like, oh, it's always in the future. Oh, I'll get to it. But if you say Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock, I'm going to spend time to book speaking engagements, that's a great way to do it. Thank you, Jackie. Appreciate it. Have a great day, and I'm sure I'll chat with you soon.
Sorry, I couldn't quite hear you. Could you please repeat?
No, why is my phone talking to me? All right, my next guest, Sharon. Sharon is here. Welcome, Sharon. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. Good to see you. How's your day going so far?
It's going well. Can't complain. It's almost the weekend, so it's great.
Yeah, almost done. We're going out after I'm done, because the weather is nice and hot up here in Canada. We get like 3 days like this every year. And, we have to maximize. See you later, guys. We have to maximize the time we get. We don't have a lot of summer up here, so.
Yeah, well, I can't say the same. I'm in San Francisco, and it's been nothing but foggy around here. So,
well, you
enjoy
guys
it while it lasts.
Good warm weather down there, so it's not as cold as Calgary, Alberta.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So, please introduce yourself, your name, your business, and where you're from.
Sure. I'm Dr. Sharon Grossman. I'm the founder of the Priming Lab, a monthly membership program that helps high achievers train their brain for success through priming. And I'm coming to you live from San Francisco.
Very nice. Very nice. So what's your story? How did you get into what you're doing now?
So I am a psychologist. I've been working in the field for the last 19 years, helping hundreds of high achievers improve the quality of their life. And what I found is that I'm really a coach at heart. So I transitioned into being a mindset coach, a success coach. And the reason behind that is that I realized how impactful our beliefs and our thinking are on our emotional state, our behaviors, and our results. So that's a real quick snapshot of what brings me to where I am now.
Very nice. Very nice. And then what is your pandemic story? Where were you last year when the pandemic started and the lockdown started happening? How did it impact you? And did it have any effect on your own confidence?
Oh, interesting story. So I know that a lot of people were freaking out. I wasn't one of those people, fortunately.
Good for you.
So I was the one helping all the people that were kind of melting down, So a lot of my clients were having a lot of anxiety, and I was like trying to keep everybody grounded. What I did do, which is kind of my story, is we ended up taking the kids to Florida. My dad's got a house out there with a pool in July because they couldn't get into camp. And once we were there, and we were only going to stay for the month, once we were there, they announced that schools were going to remain virtual. And so we're like, well, then why not stay?
Nice.
So we
I get
ended up, so we ended up staying for 5 months, and we really fell in love with the lifestyle. And so I don't know if you can see, I've got all these boxes now. We're actually packing it up and moving to Florida.
Good for you.
So no more fog.
I hear a lot of people are moving to Florida from California, especially businesses.
Well, there's definitely like the tax incentive. That wasn't the primary driver for us, but it's certainly a nice have.
It's nice. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's added bonus there.
Exactly.
I heard a lot of even bigger businesses are moving and packing up because the taxes are considerably higher in California.
Totally.
I haven't paid taxes in California, so I don't know what it is, but I just heard that they're moving.
Yep.
So who do you serve, and what do you do for them?
Yeah. So my clients are usually 6-figure business owners who want to really break through that mental ceiling. They recognize that they're stuck in a negative thinking pattern where they doubt themselves or they beat themselves up. They might feel really stuck with anxiety, feel insecure a lot, struggle with imposter syndrome, and they really hold themselves back in one way, shape, or form. But what they really want is to thrive in their business and in their life, and they're just not really sure how to get there.
Interesting. Can you give us examples of people that are stuck and how you help them?
Yeah, so I'll share a recent story of somebody that I worked with. This is somebody who is a teacher, actually, so not exactly a business owner, but she wanted to become a business owner. And you see a lot of this during the pandemic, right? A lot of people are kind of shifting around. So she wants to become a coach. And she had this mentality that she has to work just as hard being a coach as she did being a teacher. And that obviously felt daunting. And part of the reason she actually wanted to switch careers is because working as a teacher was like too much. So what we worked on was that belief that success can come easily for me. And when we first started, like day 0, she believed that. I always ask them so I can kind of measure progress. I asked her, on a scale of 0 to 100, how much do you believe that that's true for you? And she said 30%. So quite low. And then what we did was I did my 5-step process with her on like the brain priming, had her listen to this recording that I created for her. And she listened to it for 15 minutes a day. And within 2 weeks, when we checked back in, she doubled that percentage. So she went from 30% to 60%, really believing that it is possible for her to have success come easily. And within those 2 weeks, as she's kind of practicing this, she had 2 clients already say, two people who were actually teachers who thought, oh, she has an interesting story. She used to be a teacher. I need her to coach me. And so they signed up for a consultation with her.
Very nice. Very nice. I mean, if you don't believe that it's possible, then it probably won't happen.
Well, one of the things that we know is that we have these self-fulfilling prophecies, right? And so when we don't believe something is possible, we may not put ourselves out there. We may not take the right steps. We might get in our own way. We play small. There's all these different ways that we sabotage. And so that's what I'm helping people kind of get all the clutter out and be able to just have that direct path to success.
Absolutely. So speaking of self-fulfilling prophecy, can you expand on that and what it means and what people should be aware of when it comes to that?
Yeah. So if you're somebody, and I think you'll know if this is something that happens for you, but if you are somebody who always has the same results, no matter what you do, and you're just like frustrated, you're like, I don't get it. Like I've tried this, I've tried that. And like, no matter what I have the intention of doing all these things, but I don't do it. Right. So it's kind of like the person who wants to lose weight and they put themselves on like the million diets, but they never actually lose the weight. And there's usually something there that is more, around their beliefs about what's possible or whether they deserve it or whether they're worthy of looking and feeling the way they want to feel. So we have our like conscious brain and like it tells us what we say we want, right? We say, I want to look thin. I want to feel healthy. I want to, be proud of myself and all this stuff. But then there's this subconscious belief that says, no. You don't deserve that. You're not good enough for that. People are going to start looking at you and they might actually be attracted to you. but you don't, you're not somebody who deserves that sort of attention, or, some sort of a story that we tell ourselves. And so we get in our own way, and a lot of it is subconscious. And then we don't understand why we can't get the results that we want. And we feel frustrated. And this is why people feel so stuck in their lives, because they're just not able to break through.
Robin. So it's a matter of worthiness, and I don't feel good about it. And then how do we identify? Do they need to talk to you? Do they need to go through a process? If I've been at something for a while and it's just not happening the way I want it to, despite all the books, seminars, webinars, and all the thinking and hard work that I've done, and I'm like, you know what, it's not happening. What's the next step?
So I actually take them through a 5-step process, and in a kind of snapshot, basically what I have them do is identify all the areas in their life where they're stuck or they're unhappy and they want to make some change. And that can be from a behavioral standpoint, which is where a lot of people usually focus, right? Like, I need to exercise more, I need to get more done and be more productive, But if you have those underlying beliefs, it's really hard to make those behavioral shifts. And anybody who's ever tried to create a habit and had a really hard time will tell you that, I don't follow through. I'm not accountable to myself. Like, I just have a hard time sticking with things. Right. And that's because they're targeting it from a behavioral standpoint. So behaviorally, you might notice those things. You might also notice them on an emotional level. I have clients who are stuck in anxiety all the time. And I've asked them, let me ask you, like, if you weren't worried about this issue at your job right now, what would happen? And they say to me, I would find something else to be anxious about. Right? So for a lot of people, it's just like a pattern. And actually, when we're anxious and when we're stressed, it releases certain hormones and neurotransmitters in our brain, and we can become addicted to that. And that's why there are people who are like driven by stress and driven. People will say like, I'm a procrastinator, but I just do better work under stress, which is never really true. But they kind of like the adrenaline rush, and so they do that, but then they're sacrificing the quality of their work, and that's a form of sabotage. Right? You could probably do a lot better job if you gave yourself adequate time to do it, but you're just like not doing it for one reason or another. And so that's the sort of thing where we say, well, that's a sabotaging behavior. That's something that if you want to change, we can do that. So I was going to tell you the process. So real quick, it's basically like we identify all the things, and then I have them create turnaround statements. So say, well, that's what you're doing right now. What would you prefer it to be? Right. Have them kind of self-identify, like, if I could design my life exactly the way that I want it to be, what would I be thinking? What would I believe? How would I feel? What would I do exactly the way I want it, not the way it's happening now? And then we create a recording of that, and I have them listen to that for 15 minutes every single day. And within weeks, they start to feel a shift. And it's so interesting because, that's just kind of the global process, but like, inside that process, there's also the little bumps in the road that come up, and that's kind of where the work is really interesting. So there's all the stuff that comes up for us when we're trying to reprogram, right? So that's where we might say, I've had clients who actually don't do the work, and then I'll ask them like, what got in the way? And they'll say, because I don't believe these things, so I can't listen to this. And I'm like, well, that's exactly why you're doing this work. So that you can believe it, So it's kind of an interesting thing.
You're changing your inner talk, right? Like,
that's right.
It's like, I don't believe it. Well, you're gonna repeat the opposite for so many weeks until it starts sinking in, and you start changing your belief around, I guess.
Yep.
That's a good one. So tell us about did I lose you? No, you're still there.
I'm here.
Tell us about your gift that you're contributing to the confidence giveaway. And by the way, thank you for contributing generously. And how does it help business owners boost their confidence? Because I know what you work on is like step one of confidence, and it's mindset. And if the mindset piece is not there, then it's just forget about confidence. right? So
Yeah,
tell us
I
about your
mean,
gift and how it helps, please.
yeah. So what I did was I created a 30-minute training because I know people are busy. So it's a lot of what we just talked about, but a little bit more in detail on how you can do just that, prime your brain in 15 minutes a day. It's going to help you learn about the power of your beliefs, what priming is all about, what you can do to actually prime your brain for success. So if anybody wants to do this work on their own, they can. I teach you the exact methodology to really boost your confidence in your business or in any other part of your life where you might want to boost confidence. But this can also be applied to so many other areas. And then, of course, if people want a little bit more hand holding or direction or accountability, then, you know, they'll be able to have some more resources in terms of how they can get in touch with me. But what I'm doing here is I'm just teaching you how you can do it for yourself, what's involved, and then you can take your first step. That's my hope.
Amazing. And what is the title of your gift again?
It's called The Power of Priming.
Power of Priming. So, gang, if you want to get access to that mindset tool that you can use to boost your confidence, opt in through the link that is on the comments in the show and in the description of the show as well. Look for Sharon's gift, and I know that there is a coupon code that is in the description that you're gonna have to put into apply to get complimentary access to this training. And so we've got these trainings that are actually normally paid for, so you get free access to this through this giveaway, and that is really great. And thank you for contributing that, Sharon.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Now, it's always good to see you. Is there anything that you'd like to add before we wrap up?
Just, you know, that if you are feeling stuck and if you are frustrated and if you are scared or whatever is going on for you, that it doesn't have to be an uphill battle and you don't have to struggle for a long time. What I love about this work is that it has really rapid results. And that gives me a lot of hope that I can help lots of people have lots of transformations in a short amount of time.
Love it. Amazing, 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 amazing. And changing around is possible as long as you have the intention to do it and you work with someone. Because here's the thing. If we try to do it on our own, it either doesn't happen or it takes a lot longer and it will cost a lot more. Versus working with someone like yourself who has a process, who's done it with quite a few people. And so what I'm trying to say is if you're watching or listening, save yourself some time, money, and resources and reach out to a professional and get it done.
That's right. So the first step is just check out the course, learn all about the process, and then you can decide for yourself what you want to do next steps.
Absolutely. Beautiful. Thank you for joining me. Have a great weekend, and I'm sure I'll see more of you in the next few days.
You too, Mostafa. Enjoy the weather and the weekend.
Absolutely. You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. My next guest is here, Jennifer Kramer Lewis. How are you, Jennifer?
I'm wonderful. Thank you.
Great to see you. How's your day going so far?
Oh, busy day. I have my live broadcast on Fridays, so I'm all ready to go. I just finished my live broadcast. So now I'm hopping on here with you. I'm just like, now I get to be the star of your show.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Great to see you. So please introduce yourself, your name, your business, and where you're from.
Awesome. Yes. My name is Jennifer Kramer Lewis. My business is jenniferkramerlewis.com, and I consult and facilitate conscious spiritual female business owners, surrounding them with the support, strategy, and systems necessary to take charge of their mind, their emotions, and their energy so that they command the lifestyle and the money they desire, bringing them the peace and abundance that they crave, all while working less than 40 hours a week. And I live in Paradise, also known as Coldstream, Canada.
Oh, and you're where about in Canada?
Coldstream in Western Canada.
Coldstream. I have no clue where that is.
It's in the wine district.
In Okanagan?
Yeah.
Near Kelowna?
Yeah, I'm about an hour out of Kelowna.
North, south?
North.
Okay. I've been near there. I live in Calgary, so.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm about six and a half hours from you, depending on how much of a drive or how quickly you drive.
Is there a place called Armstrong?
Yeah, we're past Armstrong.
Okay, because we
It's funny you don't know what Coldstream is. Well, I'm close to Vernon.
Okay, there you go. I've stayed in Vernon. I've stayed in Armstrong. So, but I don't know that. I'm sorry, I didn't know the name for Coldstream. I'm sure it's a. I love the drive between Calgary to Vancouver.
It's a gorgeous drive,
It's like the best
especially
drive.
yeah, right now.
Right now, it's beautiful. Like if I use any excuse to drive to Vancouver and back, like if I do it 3-4 times a year, if I could do it, I would do it. And I don't get. I've been doing it for 20 years, and I don't get sick of it. I don't get
It's
tired
a
of it.
beautiful drive. Yeah, well, you know you're an adventurer when that's the thing. You're like, oh my God, I can't wait to drive to Vancouver.
Yeah, I miss Vancouver actually, and the interior BC and the rest of it. Like where you live is absolutely stunning.
It is.
Drive by the lake there is.
Yeah, it's remarkable. We have a lake view here. I'm a multi-passionate entrepreneur, so I have several businesses. And yeah, the lake is just so gorgeous.
Beautiful. All right. So tell us about your story. What's the story behind your business and how did you get into doing what you do now?
Yeah, great question. So I was in real estate, finance, investments, mortgages, helping people put together portfolios of real estate properties, rentals, all of that kind of stuff. And then the 2008 financial crisis, I was basically left without a job. Oh. And so I had to re-educate myself, and I went into real estate management. And so looking after these multi-million-dollar buildings that were owner occupied. And I'm glad I did that. It was, I knew that I wouldn't be long in that industry. I'm a really high level intuitive. I have all the psychic gifts. So, which is really, really difficult because people love to lie to the property manager. And so that was just so, like I just didn't, it could be like maybe now that I've been out of it for a long time, I could find it funny. But at the time I was just like, oh my goodness, I can't have 50 people lie to me every day and not have it affect me. And so I had to leave that industry. I had a massive burnout. I was turning into Don Draper from Mad Men. I had to have 2 really stiff martinis when I got home from work, so I wasn't horrible to my family, horrible to my husband. And I just knew I had to get out of there. And so I started consciousness studies at that time. I was using it to help me stay sane in that high-paced environment and, just real polarity in that environment. Of course, there's lovely people, but those are the people who never call the property manager. And yeah, I did well in that industry. I'm really glad that I was in that industry, because now in my coaching business, when somebody's really having a hard time, I'm not afraid of them being angry. I'm not afraid of them being upset. I can sit there with them and listen for clues of what it is that they can choose and change. And yeah, so deep dive into consciousness studies. And then, magically, of course, the universe always opens up and gives you an opportunity to quit doing the thing that's driving you insane and start doing something that's closer to your heart. And so that's what happened. I moved into coaching and facilitation.
Beautiful. And tell us about what you do now and who you serve.
Yeah, so I have 2 different entry points, well, 3 different entry points for my business. The biggest thing that's closest to my heart is I have a consultancy where you work with me on every single aspect of your business. So that's from, your mindset all the way up into the systems and strategies to build a multi-million-dollar business. And so you may have noticed this for yourself, that you can hustle your way to, say, 250. And then once you get over the 250 mark, you can't hustle anymore. It needs to be really an elegant process in your business. You need to have the right people in the right place for the right reasons. And then you also really, really need to be clear about what your mission is, and that the people who you are best suited to work with are the only people who get that one-to-one high high engagement with you, depending on what it is that you do for a living. And so my consultancy works with that. That's the apple of my eye. I also have a group program where people can work with me. I don't have it active at the moment, but it will be launching fairly quickly here again. And then people can come in and actually just sort of test me out. There's a bit of sticker shock on testing me out, but I can pretty much outline what it is that you're going to do next in one session. And so people come to me if they're going to be launching a product, or they want to pivot in their business. They want to make sure that their talents that are in their energetic design, their human design, are fully expressed in their life and in their business. Or maybe there's some weird stuff that keeps coming up that they want to solve quickly. And I'm able to identify that very, very quickly and with a good degree of accuracy what they need to do next.
Very nice. Speaking of pivoting, tell us about your pandemic story. Where were you last year when this whole show started, and what happened? How did you act or react? Did it affect your confidence in any shape or form? And what do you
Yeah, very interesting. So in human design, my profile is something called a hermit opportunist. And so my personality mostly just wants to be left alone to, work in my lab with my amazing clients and really get great results. And so I've had an online business where I just do that since 2015. I've been using Zoom since 2015. And so I'm way ahead of the curve on that. And, I was traveling worldwide, going and having these beautiful events with people where they're having these big breakthroughs, and, we're like doing waving hands over bodies and all of this cool shamanic stuff. And so the shamanic stuff is, really changed. It's been a more sort of distance healing aspect of the shamanic. So we're not touching people anymore, which kind of sucks. I love hugging my clients. And so That's not happening anymore. And, or for the time being, I don't want to put that on into the universe. But what I did notice that was available to me that I'm natural at is, I started to interview my friends and find out what their experience was, and really started to show up more online than my normal hermit personality wanted to. And that's how I sort of got myself through the first part of the pandemic, is really just connecting with other really talented people and finding out what they were doing, and, how to look at various aspects. I'm a very sensitive person, and I was just aware of the hopelessness that people were feeling. They were feeling so disconnected. And luckily for me, I have the tools and the processes to be able to know that that's not me that's feeling hopeless, it's humanity. And, so we're moving towards something, and I guess we're going to find out what it is. But people are really able to notice where they are in the, in the tsunami of all of this. They're able to just be like, okay, well, cool. I'm feeling really emotional today. I guess I better not talk to my clients. I better take good care of myself. And so that's one of the things that I noticed that's excellent for someone like me that works in business and also works, with the shamanic realm, is that, my clients have started reaching out to me and saying, hey, look, I know you do systems and processes, and I know you do all of this other magic stuff too. How do I work with you?
Very nice. I guess having the background, working online with the Zoom experience now, saying, you know what, I've got this covered, right? And then being able to stay calm, like you mentioned, during a tsunami, is key, I guess, to survival. And if we freak out and if we start panicking, then we don't make good decisions, and next thing we know, we're in trouble.
Yeah. What's interesting, I have a great story about that. I was having somebody build my page for my group program, and every time I went to go pay the bill, I got worried about money. And I'm like, this is so weird. Why am I not paying this person's bill? And so every time I tried to get near paying the bill, I freaked out about money, and I'm like, oh, I'll go get a coffee, or, oh, I'll go outside. I'll go put my feet in the grass. Of course, it's November, right? I can't do that. And then I asked myself a question. I'm like, okay, well, what is this? Who's worried about money? And it was the person whose services that I was about to contract who was worried about money. So her bill had a frequency of worried about money. So I was like, I didn't want to work with her because she was worried about money.
Wow. So she was projecting the worries onto you as a customer, while you actually had no problem paying the bill.
I had no problem paying the bill. I had the money. I knew exactly how much it was going to be.
That's an interesting insight. I never thought about it that way.
Yeah. So you can't send, if you're like the day, like if some weird invoice comes in and you're like, oh, fuck, I've got to pay that. Do not send any invoices out in your business on a day that you are worried about money. Never.
Because then you're going to have a hard time collecting the payment.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got to send your invoices out on a day where you just had an amazing day. You've made love with your partner, you've gone to the beach, you played with your dog. Those are the days you send out your invoices.
Very nice. So when you're happy, send the invoices and don't worry about collecting the payment, because if you worry about it, chances are you're going to have a hard time.
Oh, yeah, people will pay them instantly. They'll be like, oh, it's you. Great. Wow, that has a lovely feeling. Ching, ching. They'll just pay you.
Interesting. Tell us about your gift and how it helps business owners boost their confidence.
Yeah, awesome. So my gift is called the Overgiver Solution. And so I tend to work with female entrepreneurs or a couple. And what I find is that they're overly generous. They say yes to a lot of things. They're yes people. And so there's an old saying, like, if you want to get something done, ask a busy person. And these people are the busy people who keep getting asked, hey, will you do this? Hey, will you do this? Hey, will you do this? And so they end up with this mile-long list of promises that they've made their clients, their family, their lover, their dog, their PTA, their girlfriends. And some of it that ends up on the list isn't stuff that's going to be effective for them to do right now. It may not be effective for them to participate ever in, but they've accidentally said yes to it. And so the process takes you through a series of funnels to get down to what you can actually accomplish in a week, 2 or 3 things that you can accomplish, and where you need to go to accomplish them so that you have optimal energy to finish. And what I notice is finishers are the people who get ahead in the world, people who program themselves to finish on what it is that they say yes to, will always make more money. They will always be more happy. They will always be more confident. And, when you say yes to the things that you can't finish or you won't finish, it's a huge confidence drain. And so I actually built this tool for a client of mine who was capping out at, I think she had made just under 250, and she was capping out. There was no way that she could do it. She was working evenings and weekends. It was affecting her love relationship, who was also her business partner. They weren't going to make it. She was going to be a runaway bride. So I created this tool, and what happened was she started using it amongst some other things that we built in her business, and really dialed down on her standard operating procedures for her business, and she doubled her income in 8 months.
So she went from 250 to 500?
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Going back to when you were burnt out and frustrated with the previous job, and you kind of got out of it and you got into a new business, did you develop, or do you have any routines that you perform or do to boost your confidence or feel better about what's going on around you?
Yeah, absolutely. And it was funny today. Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to. And today I did not follow my routine, and my energy isn't, I'm probably going to have to go and lay down after this interview. What I do, and I have done, is I really recognized what my own personal biorhythms are. And so I don't have a lot of energy before noon. Like I just don't. And so, you know, there's all of this 5 a.m. club and 6 a.m. club and the people who are doing like the boot camp. And I will never be able to do that. And so what I ended up doing was just noticing that if I do almost nothing before, say, 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning, like I read, I, look at my books, I look at my, some cool studies that I'm doing to build my acumen in my business. I'm always, I have Think and Grow Rich, plus a couple of other books open right now. So it's just a matter of doing almost nothing before 10 a.m. or 11 a.m., which of course, Robin Sharma would be like, oh my God, what the hell? Why are you not, up and at 'em at 5 a.m.? Well, my biorhythms don't work like that. I am dead asleep at 5 a.m. And so that's what I recommend that people have a look at. If you're a night owl, if you, really you can't make yourself go to sleep before midnight, then the 5 a.m. club is not going to work for you.
So I guess your suggestion is just figure out what it is that you can do, what's possible, what your body and your mentality performs well and routinely, then do that. Like if you're not a 5 a.m. person, don't even worry about it. Yeah.
And also, like what points of view do these business experts have that are a buffet? So what I can do the 5 a.m. club, I just start at like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning and I do my exercise. I do my, journaling. I do basically my version of prayer. I, open up Think and Grow Rich or whatever book that I'm working on right now. Yeah. And, but at 9, not at 5.
Yeah, no, I'm basically the same as well. I'm not a 5 a.m. guy. Although I do like waking up at 5 early in the morning, but when I wake up, I can't start working at 5. Like I have to do like my reading, studying mindset, and doing all that kind of work. Like even if I start working, I distract myself, so I don't even fight it. Like my start time around for work is around 9 or 10 o'clock as well. Mm-hmm. Like I find myself, I get up in the morning and then I try to come downstairs to work. It just doesn't happen. Yeah. But if I go out there instead, read like Think and Grow Rich or in a mindset book or something personal, I would do it. But if you force me to work, it probably wouldn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's really important to just know, okay, when is my peak energy? When am I on? And, schedule broadcasts for that time, schedule your filming videos for your courses or, schedule writing, all of the things that you need to do for your business. Say you're building business plans. You don't want to try to do them at 5 o'clock in the morning. You're going to be not helpful. You'll have to redo them.
Exactly. Like I reckon when I read in the morning, I absorb a lot more versus if I read in the evening or later in the afternoon, because later in the day my brain is at full speed and my brain works a little too much too fast, so I'm not going to even bother. Like another thing that I did was like my highest peak energy is in the afternoon. And when I started the Confidence Show last year, this is one of the things that we did during the pandemic. We started the show, and in the beginning I was running the show at 10 a.m. and at 10 a.m. I'm still waking up. And I had my morning voice like, no. We have to move it to the afternoon so that I can actually do it and be at my highest energy level and handle this the way I should. So what you're saying there resonates a lot. Yeah. What is the underlying message there for you, for people that are watching or listening? Like for people that need to find their routine and need to find the way their body works?
Yeah. Well, the underlying message is what is correct for your body is correct for your body. You are so individual. You have, your fingerprints are yours. Your DNA is yours. And so it may be that, you've adopted a business model, or you've adopted a productivity strategy, or some standard operating procedures for your business that don't actually work. So for people who have a 9-to-5 business, what's going to change if you change it to 10 to 6 or 12 to 8? Do your clients actually expect you to be awake at 9 o'clock? How many people actually come in and want to work with you at 9 o'clock? You may have an overseas clientele that would be delighted if you changed your business hours. And, they can get you around that dinner time hour that's perfect for Australia and India.
Yeah.
And, so it's a matter of being open to allowing your body to tell you what time of day is the best time of day for you to do business. Like, this is the vehicle. This is your earth vehicle. And so if you don't honor your earth vehicle, it gets sick, it gets burnt out, you attract disease, you attract shitty relationships. And as I told you, you attract people who, normally would work with you who have difficulty paying you.
Yeah. I remember, now you said that, I had a customer back in the day where right off the bat, I knew the mindset is not right. And we took it because back then we needed the revenue. And then when we signed up, this was one of my nightmare customers. Where regardless of what we did, he was just not attracting business.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I could see that. And then going in, I knew it's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that gut feeling. Mm-hmm. And sure enough, I paid dearly for it. And then
well, there's opportunity costs too, right? Like, it's the stuff that you say yes to that's not correct for you will take away the energy and the clientele that are for you. It's like these crappy clients are standing on the porch of your business. And if you're not like, dude, this is what I charge, this is what I expect, can you meet my expectations? If they're not like instantly scared off, then they're probably good clients for you. And then if they cannot meet the expectations, then you really need to, just exit them out of your business and say, look, I love that you thought of me. And I love that you want to do work with my business, but every time we try to get together, I spend more time arguing with you for your limitations than I do facilitating you to have a multi-million-dollar business, which we both want you to have.
Right. Yeah, I think the lesson there for me was, if you come across a potential customer that is not the right customer for you, run. Run, because having that customer will cost you more than not having the customer, both in money, energy, relationships, attracting other customers, and that bad effect will cascade down to other customers. It will affect everything. And
well, even thinking about, say this client is your 3 o'clock client on Tuesdays. Well, you're going to be ramping up at 2 o'clock. Whoever's at 2 o'clock is going to have the stink of the bad client, and whoever's at 4 o'clock is going to have the stink of the bad client. So, you're probably going to lose your 2 o'clock client and your 4 o'clock client because you've kept doing business with this 3 o'clock client. And, it's a tough lesson, especially if we're hungry in business, but nothing is going to kill your confidence more than working with a shitty client.
Absolutely. And then taking on that unqualified client is a limiting mindset that if you let go of, the abundance would show up. That's how my experience has been.
Absolutely. Well, you're programming your energy field with everything that you do. Everything you say yes to, the energy of the planet is like, oh, well, this is what she or he says yes to. We're going to give them more of that. So it's like, when you're fighting with your partner, the universe will give you more of that, or when you're like having a beautiful relationship with people, the universe is going to give you more of that. So It's just diverting your attention to the correct clients. And it's so much easier to work with the correct clients and be patient. You're like, okay, well, cool. What do I need to change in my business so that I can work with the correct clients? And, working with somebody to help you work with the correct clients is always excellent. Doing the work that you are supposed to be doing rather than saying yes to PTA and, going out with your in-laws, all of the things that people say yes to because they think they have to, rather than stuff that truly makes their heart just swell like, oh my God, look at this beautiful client. I'm so proud of them. Like, who doesn't want to work with people like that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Jennifer, I really appreciate your time. Thank you for sharing your knowledge, wisdom, and the generous gift that you put forward for the confidence giveaway. I really appreciate it, gang. What was the name of your gift again?
Yeah, it's called the Overgiver Solution. So if you go to overgiversolution.com, you can grab it.
Right. And no, I mean the gift that we're having in the giveaway.
That's it.
That's it. All right. So the link is in the gang. If you're watching, listening, is in the comments below or the description of the show. Go grab the link, get access to Jennifer's gift, and all other gifts that we got there. The confidence giveaway is up and running until Sunday. We got some amazing gifts and amazing experts like Jennifer. And tap into their knowledge and wisdom, and we'll go from there. Jennifer, thanks for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and look forward to chatting with you soon.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you.
Have a good one. Bye-bye. All right. So next I've got Cindy Bidar. Welcome, Cindy.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
How's your day going so far?
So far, so good. Happy Friday, right?
Oh, yeah. All right. Give us your name, your business name, and where you're from.
My name is Cindy Bidar, and you will find me at cindybidar.com. That is my business. Where am I from? I'm in Michigan, USA.
All right.
I think you're in Canada, West Coast?
Calgary, Alberta.
Yeah.
Well, we're in the west, but not quite the coast. But
not quite West Coast. Yeah, I'm not quite East Coast.
What's the weather like there today?
Today it is a beautiful 88 degrees. So
interesting.
So it's quite nice. I don't know what that is in Canadian degrees, but
88 probably. It should be pretty warm, I guess.
It's pretty warm. Yeah, it's summertime weather. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of warm here too, and we're enjoying our 3 days of summer up here.
Yeah. Yeah, we're enjoying the nice spring weather before it gets ridiculously hot and humid and we can't go outside anymore.
Oh, we don't get that. Well, but once in a while we get that. It gets really hot, like 40 degrees Celsius, but not very often.
That's good. That's good.
So, Cindy, what is your story? How did you get into doing what you're doing now?
Oh, my story is long and sordid. I actually came into the online world as a virtual assistant, and I worked as a virtual assistant doing operations and marketing management for several years for online business owners, 6 and 7 figure coaches, information product sellers, course creators. That was kind of my market. And I did that for about 10 years. Full-time for about 10 years. And then I had an epiphany one Christmas when I had some time off over the Christmas holiday. And I thought, why am I building other people's businesses? I need to be building my own business. So I kind of systematically fired all my clients and started taking what I had learned in those 10 years and using that information to teach other people how to build online businesses. So they can't hire me as a virtual assistant anymore. They can't hire me to manage their marketing or their operations, but they can learn from me how to do it themselves or how to teach their team to do it for them.
Oh, very nice. So so then give us the definition of what you do and who you serve then.
So what I do is I create courses and training, and I'm a coach for solopreneurs who are building or who are managing an online business. They're either coaches, they're bloggers, they're course creators, they're digital product sellers of some kind, and they want to better systemize their business so that they can make more money and work fewer hours and have that freedom that we all want from an online business, but that is really so elusive.
Got it. So, what is your pandemic story? Where were you last year around the beginning of the pandemic? How did it affect your business? What did you do, and did it affect your confidence at all?
It absolutely did. In fact, I was just talking to a friend of mine about this morning. I was so let's see, March of 2020, I attended a mastermind event that I had gone to for the past couple of years. I think it was my third time attending that particular event, and I flew home just before the world kind of shut down. And I remember another friend who was attending with me, she Skyped me just before we were both going to fly out, like a couple of days before we were flying out. And she said, "Are you at all concerned about this coronavirus thing and flying?" And I'm like, "No, it's nothing." Famous last words, right?
Right.
So I came home from the mastermind, and the world, more or less fell apart like 4 days later. And sadly, my dog died, and then unrelated, but my dog died, and then like 2 days later on the news, I hear the president talking about he's stopping all incoming flights from Europe. And I thought, oh, wow, this really is serious. I had no idea. I really didn't think it was that big of a deal. And, in terms of how did it affect my business, I completely shut down. And I think a lot of people had that same, had kind of that same reaction. It was just total panic. Like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Are we all going to get sick? Are we all going to die? Is this the end of the world? Who knows? So, I kind of operated from that point of panic for several weeks after that, until it finally kind of calmed down. And I do have to say, I'm very, very fortunate in that I've worked from home for 11 years. I'm very much a homebody. I don't, I rarely leave the house anyway. So for me, kind of being stuck at home for weeks at a time didn't really affect me mentally like it affected some of my friends. I had a really, really hard time with it. But in terms of business, I didn't know. None of us knew what was going to happen. So there was a lot of uncertainty there, and it did kind of shake our confidence in, whether or not we're doing the right thing. Should we continue to promote? Is it cool to be promoting? Should I be selling things? Is that because there were people out there saying I can't sell things at this point because, the world is in chaos, and it was just, there was a lot of uncertainty going around. And I'm fortunate in that we recovered relatively quickly. But I'm still seeing people, a lot of my customers, a lot of my clients who are still really kind of struggling to find their place again in the online world, and how that's going to look for them going forward.
So, what did you do to manage and boost your confidence from that stage of the stage of panic to the next stage?
You know what? I did what I've always done, and I just worked the system. That's the name of a book, and I probably shouldn't use it because it's probably copywritten or trademarked or something. But I always fall back on the proven processes. I know what works, and I know from experience that if I continue to show up and do the things, it continues to work. And that's really what I had to focus on. Just continuing to put one foot in front of the other, and trusting the process, and trusting that it would all work out, and that we would all survive and come out the other side. And that's what we're seeing happen. And that's what happened in my business. And that's what's happened in my clients' businesses, where they're able to say, okay, let's just keep going. Just keep putting one foot in front of the other, and we'll get there.
Very nice. Very nice. So, and I think it's very important to have that routine and knowing that if you have the system, fall back on the system, follow the system, and eventually it will produce the result.
Yeah.
Even if our body is giving us wrong signals, like I don't feel like doing it today type of signal.
Absolutely. And that's something that that I really focus on and teach in my business, is that consistency of action and following the process, following the steps. Do the steps. They work. You just have to show up and do them.
Absolutely. Good. Love it. So tell us about your gift, what it is, and how it helps business owners boost their confidence.
So my gift is a course. It's called Funnels 101. And what it does for business owners, I have so many people who come to me and say, you know I need funnels in my business. Everybody's talking about funnels. I don't even understand what a funnel is or how they work or how do I build one? Where do I even start? So Funnels 101 is a process that I developed for myself, where I start with the end goal in mind, and I teach people how to work backwards and build their funnel according to where they want their subscribers to go in the end. So we're taking that course that they've created, or that coaching program, or the book that they've written, or whatever it is that they're selling at the other end of that funnel, and we're building the funnel backwards from that point. So it's a natural lead in from the point of when a subscriber first is aware of you to, those next steps that build that trust and the know, like, and trust factor that everybody talks about. So that's what the funnel is designed to do, is to build that in, which eventually then leads to a purchase. So that's what Funnels 101 is all about. It breaks it down into, super manageable steps with the checklists and the worksheets and all of that stuff. And again, it's been completely systemized, and the process is there. All you have to do is show up and do the steps.
Love it. For people that are like starting from scratch, give us a definition of a funnel. What is a funnel?
So a funnel in Cindy Bidar language, it's different in different people's, depending on who you talk to. In Cindy's language, a funnel is the process, or you could call it your customer journey, right? It's the process through which a potential customer first becomes aware of you, whether it's through free content, through a Facebook Live, through a post on Instagram, through a blog post, whatever. They join your email list, and then through a series, or through an email sequence, typically, they get to know you more. They learn more about you. They learn more about your products, your services, your courses, whatever it is that you sell. And then eventually they're led to that sales page. So it's your customer journey from unaware to making a purchase.
Love it. Gang, if you're starting a business, if you have been in business, whichever stage of business you're in, you've got to have a funnel, right? And you got to have that funnel designed and crafted. And Cindy's gift walks you through how it's done, and it's a great gift, because here's a fact. I know, and I have came across many business owners that get stuck behind their funnel, anywhere from 6 months to 2 years, and they postpone and procrastinate launching their products and services for that period of time because they stuck with the tech portion or the funnel aspect of things. So tapping into this amazing gift will help you get better with building your funnel, designing it, and overcoming issues that you might have, and become more confident. And
Absolutely.
Once the funnel is working, business starts working much better.
Let me tell you, I know 7- and 8-figure businesses that have been operating on the same funnel for years. Once you get it in place and really dialed in, you're done.
You just send more traffic and you're good.
You just feed more traffic into it.
And you can make money while you sleep.
Yeah.
Literally. All right.
Yep.
Good.
Yep. That's the key.
Cindy, so gang, again, if that interests you at all, if building your funnel and learning about how to build your funnel for free and getting complimentary access to Cindy's course and training interests you at all, the link is in the comments. Click on the link or in the link in the description of the show, and it will take you into the opt-in. You get access to Cindy's gift and 19 or 20 other gifts that are amazing, and they'll help you boost your confidence in different areas of business. Now, Cindy, I really appreciate your time and your generous contribution to the giveaway. Is there anything that you'd like to add before we wrap up?
You know, I want to thank you for inviting me to join the giveaway. It's been a great experience so far. I've met some amazing new people that I had not been aware of before, so that's been fun. I got to listen in on the tail end of the interview before me. I have to go grab her gift because that sounded really, really great.
Yes.
So I need to go explore those myself. So I
Absolutely.
appreciate the opportunity, and I look forward to helping as many people as possible get past this funnel confusion, because seriously, it's an amazing tool, and it's not as difficult to build as people think it is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you very much. Enjoy your weekend, and I'm sure we'll chat more.
All right. Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, gang. Thank you for joining me. This was the day 5 of the confidence giveaway. Tomorrow morning, Saturday, I believe it's at 11 a.m. I could be wrong. Yes, 11 a.m. Mountain Time. We will be back with some more amazing interviews with some other experts. So tune in and check out for the link on whichever platform you're following, and we'll have more gifts for you and people that you know. And by the way, if you know anyone that could benefit from the gifts that we are sharing at the confidence giveaway, please share the link with them, and then we will take it from there. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye now.